moving on to Grindhouse films. We just finished Hammer films. Grindhouse films are films that focus on filth and the debris in the city. They're characterized visually by the use of grainy footage, blurry motion, and an attention to detail.
Sounds like stuff we used to watch all the time.
They used to be shown in crappy little theaters that they called Grindhouse theaters. Now this one's a little bit bizarre because we're also later going to be talking about Gaio films. And Lucio Fulci, who directed this and wrote it, is a Gaio director. This actually could be a Gaio film.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, this kind of hits in between. The movies also really, strangely, are known for having multiple titles. So this is The Psychic. It's also called Murder to the Tune of 7 Black Notes.
Which is a very cool title.
Or in Italian...
You did that much better than I did the Spanish on the last one.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's from 1977.
In Grindhouse, Tarantino did a couple films as an homage. Very tongue-in-cheek like, but...
Yeah, the problem with Grindhouse is Grindhouse horror, traditional Grindhouse horror, the greatest ones, we've all seen. Last House on the Left,
right.
I Spit on Your Grave,
right.
All those are Grindhouse films. So I was trying to find something I couldn't. So I looked up best Grindhouse films, and this is one of Tarantino's top 10 Grindhouse films.
Nice, okay.
So he was actually planning on remaking it, but it didn't happen. So he used the theme music of this in Kill Bill.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I saw the one that had what's-her-face that turned her leg into a machine gun. Yeah, that's just a scene you always remember of those.
This was remade in India in 1984. It was entitled Nuravathu Nail, and then that film was remade 2 more times.
Wow.
It's been done a lot.
And I think we should get all the Indian Stephen King movies and watch.
Have you watched a lot of Bollywood films?
No.
Even Bollywood, I have one Bollywood horror that I reviewed, and there's no fewer than 9 full-length music videos in the middle of the movie.
Wow.
It's a definite stylistic choice. I don't want to say I'm a fan of.
We live in the wrong country.
There was a Spanish film called Pieces that was famous in the late 70s. I watched it recently. It is like a Spanish version of a Gaio film. Very similar stylistically. But the interesting part was it's in Spanish. It's in Spain. They filmed it in Spain with Spanish actors. But they did the whole thing in English.
Wow.
Which is really odd. This movie was shot entirely in Italy. All of the actors are speaking English. In fact, when they showed it in Italy, they overdubbed Italian actors going over, even though the actors were all Italian.
That's really weird.
Yeah. It's directed and written by Lucio Fulci. He was born in Rome in 1927. He was a medical student who dropped out to make movies. He's known as a Gaio director. He's a direct competitor to Dario Argento, who we're going to be looking at next. He was known for having horribly gory and graphic films to the point that his career he got blacklisted in the early 70s.
It's probably perfect for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Person.
He made a film about the perversion of the Catholic Church. It was called Don't Torture a Duckling.
You don't want to do that in Italy.
In order to get back into making movies again, in the mid to late 70s, he started doing spaghetti westerns. And everyone's, okay, that's fine. He came out with this in 77. He directed 61 total films before he died in 96. But the 3 titles you're going to know that this guy did, he did The Black Cat.
Okay.
He did The Zombie, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
And Zombie Part 3. So, all of those were notoriously just stupid gore-fest kind of movies. These were all him. This is actually based on a novel from 1972 by Vera Razzini entitled Terapia Mortale. Alberto Pugliese was going to do a direct adaptation in 72, but the producer didn't like it, so he brought Fulci on to do the project, and he changed it so it's barely at all like the original novel.
We just took your title, everything else we
Yeah.
forget about.
Jennifer O'Neill, who plays Virginia Ducci, she is in the lead role. She was born in 48 in Rio de Janeiro. She's still alive and she's still making films. She's been in 55 projects. She started in 1968 for The Love of Ivy, and has recently been in a film called I'm Not Ashamed in 2016. She's been in a lot of TV shows, miniseries, and a bunch of stuff we haven't heard of, except she was in Scanners.
Oh, okay.
With people's heads blown up. And again, the rest of the cast, Italian, they've been in lots of stuff. Nothing we would know or recognize.
Yeah, I don't recognize any names or
Yeah.
faces. Okay.
Yep. And so this is our Grindhouse section of Horror Fest 2022.
Had good 50% on Rotten Tomato and 70% on whatever the other one was. So that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.